about some wrestling. Yesterday was Crown Jewel, WWE's yearly event over in Saudi. Guys, what are your thoughts about the card of Crown Jewel?
I thought it was a fun event. It was great. It has a huge PLE feel to it. It seems like it rivals with some of the big four, but as much as fans don't want it to, but it feels like it. It's starting to feel more and more like that each year.
I definitely agree with that. Shaw.
Anytime you have an overseas pay-per-view where they're putting that much money into it, it can only benefit the business. But I think Crown Jewel is more of a political move. I think it's more of a, hey, you can come over here and we won't kill you. Things have changed. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool, but it's still it's certain things. The women not being able to wear their uniforms. There's still custom things. Women can't shake hands like we talked about before the podcast. There's a lot of things that it's still kind of It's still another world in a sense.
Yeah, but I think that one thing is like when how the women look. I do feel like the outfits is getting a little better. I will say that.
True. Nobody looked like they had on a garbage bag this year.
Yeah.
Nia just looked like she had on her normal outfit.
She did.
And it was still form fitting. Liv's looked horrible, but that's just fine. She won, so I guess. But Bianca, Jade, Kairi, Io, the Meta Girls, Chelsea, and Piper, they all looked great in their one-piece outfits, and so I can't be mad at it. The characters were still represented. Saudi, it's a sports washing thing. We know that. It's just something we have to accept. What I did like about this past one is that storyline still progressed. It wasn't just a showcase of we have wrestlers. I felt like in the past, every time when they went to Saudi Arabia, it just became a showcase of, hey, we have wrestlers. Hey, we have access to get legends. We can bring back Triple H and Shawn Michaels and the Brothers of Destruction and have a lackluster match because they're both old and broken. Goldberg can wrestle The Undertaker and almost kill him. Goldberg can upset the Fiend for no reason. All those things happened in the past, but I think that this past card, it moved storylines forward, even though there was no storyline moved forward with Cody Rhodes or even with Liv Morgan and none of those things. The Bloodline storyline did progress. The Kevin Owens and Randy Orton storyline, it progressed a little bit. Excuse me. But I think this time there was a story. There wasn't just matches that they just put on just because the Prince wanted to see some wrestlers. So I give them credit on that.
Which is something
that
They got what? What do you say?
They got to go home this time.
Yes, they got to go home.
Something I talked about with Shah earlier. Like you mentioned, like in the past, it was just fantasy matches from the Prince. Now it seems to be this strong push for this to be a serious, I guess, like something that rivals WrestleMania. And I'm trying to figure out, like, is this the Prince behind this, or is there some like WWE Saudi Arabia group that's there that's like pushing, like, we need to make this a major pay per view? Like, what caused this sudden change?
I think they probably do want to make it a major pay per view. They do have that WWE experience there, where there's just that big spectacle, which I would love for them to have something like that in the United States. That's always there all year around, where we could just go see WWE landmarks and stuff like that. That would be cool. But I think they need, if the pay-per-views get positive reviews, where we're not talking about, hey, this is just a promotional package for Saudi Arabia, which the first ones were. That was just a promotional package with Saudi Arabia with wrestlers. But now, no, this is an event. Like, you want to come see this. Like, you want to come see it. You'll pay your money, you'll follow our rules, and you'll come see it because you want to see your wrestlers. You want to see these big matches. You want to see Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. You want to see when John Cena has his crown jewel moment next year. Again, you would want to see that because it's Cena's last run. So I think now they know that if they maintain the product continuity, which is everywhere else except there, the product is what's bringing people to go see it. We don't want to just see wrestlers. We want to see story. We want to see something happen, not just Crown Jewel have a belt. Yes, they have a belt now. Something to expect every year, but at least there's some stories that progress during that, like the LA Knight thing, which wasn't a great story. And yes, he botched his superplex again. I know that hurt everybody's feelings, but the story's progressed. And
Sometimes you just gotta know. Sometimes you gotta just know when to, like, all right, I need to put this one up, and I think that move needs to be just put it up.
No more superplex.
No more.
Well, no more.
Or,
I mean, he can.
Or just do a normal one. Do a normal one.
Climb
that
up
jumping
the ropes.
up. Yeah, just climb up. You're never too cool to climb it up. Like,
he crushed himself this time. So
yeah. And didn't even sell it. He was like, man, I'm gonna do this.
I'm still suplexing these guys. I don't care. Sweaty ropes, as they always seem to say. Why are the ropes always sweaty with him?
There was one, and I believe this was like back in the summer. There was one event where the ropes must have been something, because it was like 2 or 3 of these, like, people like slipping off of them.
Yeah, that was the one where Damian Priest's foot got caught, and he
got caught. Jade slipped off of him, and maybe somebody else. Yeah, it was like, they should took an intermission and changed the ropes or something.
The rope could have been, because Io had a botch last night as well, or yesterday, and Io doesn't botch like that.
Okay, I must have missed it.
So, and we know Io.
Yeah, she had a botch when who was on the top rope? Who was on the top rope again when she had that botch? It was
Chelsea.
Someone.
Chelsea was on the top rope, and but I figured she was gonna botch just because I don't think Kyrie's strong enough to throw her up in the air. But I was like, and she did botch, but she still recovered. Io recovered gracefully as she always did.
Random question: where is Dakota? Is she injured again, or
she's injured again?
Again.
Ugh. That's the reason there's only half of damage control. The other two are hurt, and they both have knee injuries. Dakota
should have kept the brace on.
She needs to just be a manager at this point.
She's good at it.
Yeah, she's good as a mouthpiece, because the other three are obviously better wrestlers than Dakota Kai, but they've been wrestling longer than Dakota Kai. She's not horrible. Like, I'm not hating on Dakota.
No.
At all, but Dakota, you can't compare her to Io or Asuka, like, at all, like, in any way. Asuka.
If you would give her a singles run, it wouldn't even be good.
Well, maybe. I just think she just needs to. I think Asuka
as a singles competitor, boy, that shit would be ass. It would be ass as a singles competitor. She needs damage control.
No, she was good in NXT when she had Raquel.
She had a whole run in NXT without him.
Everybody was good. I hate the NXT. Everybody's good in NXT. Everybody was good in NXT.
NXT is the best wrestling show on TV.
That's true. All around, it's the best.
That's true. It is. It is.
It flows the best. It's the best show all around. I do agree with that.
Facts.
But let's get to the meat. What do you guys think of the fact that Roman Reigns lost clean to Solo Sikoa?
I don't think
Why are
anything
they
negative.
building this up for that? I don't know what you got planned, but I just can't wait. I hope all this builds up for War Games because War Games is going to be fire.
Well, we know it's building up to War Games. Um, I don't, I really don't know how I feel about Roman taking a pin. But I do like the build up where they're not immediately just unstoppable altogether. There's some kinks, there's some issues. They just did a quick hold. Yeah, we together, put the ones up, but obviously they need more than that. They need some more talking. They still got some issues to resolve. So hopefully, in the coming weeks, we see them actually work on that instead of just magically it just falling into place.
I definitely agree. I was shocked with the Roman taking the pinfall due to the simple fact that he's Roman and he's obviously the guy. I'm not gonna say he's the most over guy because that's Jay. Jay's the most over guy right now. Granted they wanted the OTs. Jimmy's just there. I mean, I'm sorry, Jimmy's just there.
The cool thing about that is Jimmy seems to be well aware of that, and it is not bothering him. He's like,
Oh
they still got
no,
to pay me. Like,
hey, that two paycheck household, all from the WWE. He know what's up. He know what's up. He got kids to feed, and Naomi has stepchildren to feed, so they need to do what they need to do. They okay. They need to keep them jobs. She learned from when she went on to the Indies following Sasha Banks. There wasn't that much out there, so she needed to bring her butt back in. She was tired of not eating
You
five
didn't
star
tell me
meals
that
every
match
night.
you had Sunny Kiss was on a classic.
What's with you and Sonny Kiss, man? I know you don't like Sonny Kiss. I know
I'm
why
just saying
you.
that no, that match with her and Sunny Kiss was a classic, sir. Put some respect on Trinity's name.
Her match with Jordan Grace was a classic, but she wasn't making WWE
Facts.
money by wrestling Jordan Grace. Jordan
Oh
Grace is only
no, oh no.
Jordan Grace just now making WWE money in NXT. She
do you
tried to,
think though her run there helped open that door for those conversations from Triple H and Jordan though?
yeah, oh for sure, for sure. That put different eyes on NXT when her and Nick Nemeth went down there.
Because I will say,
I mean on TNA.
obviously TNA ain't got the best money in it, but her run over there was entertaining. It was fun. It was. I honestly, I don't even think it's a hot take. I enjoy Naomi's run in TNA more than Mercedes in AEW right now.
Oh, for sure. I told Shaw this last time we spoke. I feel like they're dropping the ball with Mercedes every time. Why didn't we get Mercedes versus Tony Storm? That should already
Yeah,
happen.
I don't. It seemed like they purposely was
Avoiding
avoiding
it.
that. Yeah, I don't.
Mercedes needs to be the women's champion. Why is the TBS championship on display more than the women's championship?
And that was the thing. I thought when coming in, putting her in with the TBS was the idea was to not rush her into the women's title. But then when they did it, it's kind of like they gave it more focus. So it was like
Yeah.
I feel like it was defeating their purpose when they did that.
Yeah, when they talk about triple main event, it's not the women's championship, it's the TBS championship. And then it was the lights out match or whatever it is, but the TBS championship is now billed as a second to the men's AEW championship, which doesn't make sense. That shouldn't even be. It should be the women's championship. But I guess it's because Mariah May, which her and Tony Storm could have had the blowout, could have had the feud, and they could have had just Mariah lose. Mariah could have lost to Tony, and then Tony versus Mercedes could have happened. I think so anyway, because that's
No,
that's
I
what
was
everybody
nice.
was talking about. I think Mercedes has had some bad matches in AEW, but who has a bad match with Tony Storm? Nobody has a bad match with Tony Storm. I mean, and she's a WWE girl. Like she can wrestle the WWE style. Then there's a
I think
lot of
they I think they handled that storyline wrong. I mean, they went an interesting way, but it just wasn't the way to go. That should have been a Mariah face turn
yeah.
instead of, and I think that's where it kind of lost some momentum because one, the whole thing about it was Tony. So once you took that belt off of Tony and Mariah's just off, it just kind of loses momentum. She wasn't. she needed to. It would have been great for her to go over as a babyface, beating her, and then we can. But her as a heel, like it only related to Tony. You don't really care about anything else.
Yeah,
Just her as a heel,
exactly.
which I
Mariah,
like her. I like Mariah.
Mariah's good. She's the glamour, but Mariah didn't get enough of a rub from Tony to be over.
Right, right.
So, and Tony didn't get a good enough push so she could actually have a good main event match, so she could wrestle Sasha Banks. She ran through everybody pretty much on the roster. On Thunder Rosa, good matches. She ran through Thunder. Britt Baker ran through Britt. Everybody's ran through Britt, including Adam Cole. But baby, but I mean, it wasn't special, and I think AEW's missing special in the women's division. Maybe they'll have something special with this Hurt Syndicate thing, but that's missing special.
I thought the whole point of them bringing Mercedes over was to help the women's division, not to just have matches with indie wrestlers or Yoshi wrestlers. I thought she's supposed to bring that division up. And the only division match that I saw that she had that was worth the fuck was with Britt Baker. And that was ass cheeks.
No, the one she had with old girl that's in WWE now was pretty
Stephanie
good.
Vicur, that was real good.
Yeah.
That got Stephanie hired.
Which
was
apparently
going
that
to
was
WWE.
apparently that was Steph's plan all along. She was playing chess. I ain't mad at her.
Yeah, we didn't know that though. We thought she was on the AEW. Triple H is like, no, Sean called her personally.
We didn't know, but she knew. She had that plan.
She knew what she was doing. And we know that Triple H still watches his babies, his 4 horsewomen. No matter where they work at, he's still watching out for Mercedes.
But that is well planned. They had that match, and then right after that, very shortly after that, WWE went to Mexico. Like the stars just aligned perfectly.
And she was right there. That she headlined that show. She knew what was up. She knew what was going on, and so did Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And she's killing it on NXT. She's killing it on NXT. So is Julia. So they're doing what they need to do. But back to the Crown Jewel. I would have to say for me the match of the night was the women's tag team match. I thought that was the best match on the card.
Yeah. That was.
I thought the way they displayed the Meta Girls, the Lash and Jakara Jackson, they looked like they belong on the main roster. Jade did pretty good. She didn't mess up anything. She kept the intensity. Bianca is Bianca. I mean, sometimes Jade has off nights. We all know that. I think Jade would admit that sometimes she has off nights. Like she's not flawless every
only
night.
Pay-per-views. Only on pay-per-views. It's not on SmackDown or not a dark match, but the pay-per-views is when she fucks up.
Well, SmackDown, she's usually getting a hot tag and just
hot tag,
yeah.
Pump kick, jaded.
But my biggest take from the women's tag match was how impressive Metaphor was.
Exactly.
They looked like they weren't from developmental. They looked like they were ready.
They're ready to go. Bring her up. Bring Lash and Jakara up. Trick is gonna have to have a long distance relationship now. Lash ain't coming home no more, buddy.
And Jade could have used a nice feud with like Lash Legend on NXT.
And honestly, just think of all the things they can bring up. Basketball. Like they both played basketball. Like they're tall basketball girls. Just bring up stuff like that. Like, hey, I was a basketball standout before you anyway, and you ain't nothing. Shots like that, I think that would be perfect, and that can be Jade's rival. Jade doesn't have to always rely on Bianca to get the heat verbally and physically within the match, because that seems to be the whole deal. It's all about Bianca, and then Jade gets the hot tag. But Jada never learned to be a star in the WWE unless she cut those wings off. You know?
Yeah, but I would hate to see like those chains being let loose and then see her like fail on the main roster. Like, Dominic for a minute was, even while he was in Judgment Day, he was having solo matches on NXT. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
if they could try something like that with Jake, I'm not saying take her off SmackDown, nothing, but just how they've been interacting with Metaphor and on NXT. I think you could pull off something just to give her some extra training.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Jay does need a little bit of help. Um, but we also have to think. Look at all the help she's had. So you got a little bit. You got trained a little bit by Daniel Bryan in AEW, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, all these people. Now you have Shawn Michaels, and all these people throwing Matt Bloom, all these people throwing in their name in your hat, and you can't grasp it.
I do think she is improving, just not at the rate that everyone wants her to be.
$250,000
So we got to
a match type of improvement? No.
No, no, not at all. But but some improvement though.
But how long do we keep Bianca Belair in the purgatory? Because this bitch can't wrestle.
Well, that
It's
was
funny
harsh.
you say that. Yeah, you say all that, but 'cause you've been very vocal and supportive of Jade since she's been signed. Now this bitch can't wrestle.
She
Yeah,
looked good as hell. Dude, cut the training wheels off. Bianca need that belt. Bianca needs to get back into the main roster.
I think Bianca having
Great.
a
She don't need to
break
be
from
babysitting you.
she doesn't need to babysit, but I do think her having a break from the title situation is good for her. I feel like her being stuck in it is just going to cause fans to turn on her, and we don't need that.
she started to get a little booze the
Yeah,
more
yeah,
she was dominating. Uh, if we go back to when they were in Puerto Rico and she wrestled Io, she was booed heavily and Io was
yeah.
cheered heavily.
For nothing of her fault,
Yeah, it's just, Io's a better wrestler. Yeah, Io is a better wrestler than Bianca. Io has more experience.
Now,
Io
had Io had any time over there in Puerto Rico? Or?
probably. I don't think so, but I think in Puerto Rico I think they've been watching some of the New Japan stuff before.
Okay, because I was like, man, they are really dedicated to her. Like, what is
Yeah,
going
so
on?
I think some of the Japanese stuff aired there, so they was like, "Oh, we know who she is," and I think
Yeah,
they watch wrestling in general over there, and I know a
yeah,
lot of people in the United States, they don't, WWE fans don't watch NXT, like they watch just the main two shows.
right.
They don't watch, because I've known a lot of people said, "Oh, we don't watch NXT, but we watch WWE." I was like, "Ah, that's the same thing." You're missing a lot of
Yeah,
stuff. You might be missing the most. You might be missing the most important show of the week. It could be NXT. It might not be Raw, SmackDown. But so I think just all in all, if you watch NXT all the way up to WWE, somebody's career, you're gonna go for them. And Io's definitely one of those people, especially if you watch a Japanese stuff. You're definitely gonna go for Io
Yeah,
over
I
probably
agree.
almost anybody.
Yeah.
But that women's match, I'm going to say that women's match was the best match on the show for me, anyway.
what'd you think of Cody and
Agreed.
or is it too early to talk about that?
I mean, we can work our way up there. We can work our
Okay.
way up there. We at least got to hit the women's match. We at least got to hit LA Knight at least.
What I think we've already addressed the biggest problem in that match, in my opinion,
The botch.
is he just needs to let go of the superplex.
He wants to show
I mean,
you.
he did acknowledge it.
Yeah,
And I respect that. I do respect that.
but I think I agree with you. He does need to give it up because he does enough. And I look at him as he's a wrestler like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. None of their moves were impressive. You didn't watch them because the stunner is a jawbreaker. For the love of God, it's a jawbreaker. The Rock danced around the ring and elbowed you. We didn't watch them for being athletic. We watched
Right.
them. We watched them because, man, that character really draws me in, and they're entertaining. That's what LA
Well,
Knight is.
while LA Knight definitely is a brawler, just like them, I think there's a part of him that's like, y'all know I'm 40, and I need to show y'all that I'm not. I'm that 40 don't mean what you think it means. And I think that's why he's trying to do some of the little more like athletic things, like the weird jump to the top rope superplex, just to prove he can hang. And I believe he can hang. It's just, you don't have to break your neck to prove it.
True. I like when he changed his LA Knight elbow to whether he was doing the running and the jumping, and now he does the off the middle rope and then he jumps to the top rope. Now, he could. That's enough for me, for him to just say, okay, that's your new LA Knight elbow. You're athletic enough, but the superplex doesn't need to be there. Only do it with a guy that maybe the guy can catch you. Because he knows you're not sure-footed. You're not Pat McAfee, who did do it flawlessly on Adam Cole in NXT, which would probably hurt his feelings because this is a guy who's not a trained wrestler. He just had a wrestling ring in his backyard, and now he can do it. But hell, Pat McAfee's a natural athlete,
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just like Logan Paul. Logan Paul, natural athlete. Some people are just naturally athletic. They take to it. They physically can't nobody touch them. That's fine. But none of those guys, not even Logan Paul, have the verbal ability that LA Knight has on the mic. And that's all. That's what wrestling is about.
But then shouldn't he stick to that then? Shouldn't he just focus on that? I mean, I know it's a big show and you want to do a big move, but at the same time, my guy, you're 42 years old. So maybe you should kind of the LA Knights, the AJ Styles. I mean, even Randy Orton, who doesn't really have a crazy moveset, he's not out there doing anything fucking nuts.
Well, AJ got a crazy moveset. We got to throw AJ in this.
Well, AJ does have AJ cannot be doing that shit no more. AJ shouldn't do that crazy shit no more, period.
I don't know about that. AJ can do it during a big match. AJ didn't even hurt himself doing anything crazy. AJ has to understand as a man, and he would probably never say it, but as a man that is on steroids now at his life, at his age.
Thank you.
When you get on gear, you
can't do that shit.
Your joints change. They become weak because you gain muscle too quickly. So you need to do everything a little bit differently in general in life, like walking.
That's why I said Randy Orton. Randy Orton too. He needed to change some shit up. The motherfucker is roided the fuck out.
Okay, 290 legitimate because he's been eating, as he's been saying. And if you watch that Brave Change workout, Randy Orton's workouts are trash. He's definitely on some gear. But
definitely.
I watched. I said, "Oh, that's a trash workout." Oh yeah, he's on some dick.
Are you talking about from him on Shameless show?
Yes, I saw.
I didn't even watch. I just watched the clip of him talking about listening to women rappers, and I didn't go any further.
I watched it. I watched the Brave Change workout, but the reason I did watch it because I was like, maybe it was taken out of context about him wanting to listen to Glorilla and Sexy Red, and then it wasn't. Then I was like, well, damn.
Oh no, well, because previous like 20 before 2020, he was big super MAGA guy, and then I want to say around the George Floyd stuff, he started getting like changing tune, which I'm sure he's still what he is, but just a little bit more tolerant. And then that's when he started openly talking about rap music. I'm not trying to say the two connect, but he was acting like they did.
Well, he did. Well, also when he came out, when he said, "Yeah, I got this huge Cuban chain," and Triple H, and I was sitting up there, and me and my whole family, Triple H asked me, "Was I taking a rap album photo?" I mean, well, yeah, because that's what it looked like. You and your whole family got on all black and Cubans. I mean, dear God, what are you doing? But I mean, I can see it with Randy changing his tune. I know he was MAGA, and now he's like, oh yeah, there is prejudice. Prejudice is real. I thought that was fake news. Well, no, discrimination's real, Brody. Sorry, sorry, a man who's traveled the world twice over just now realizing this.
But yeah, he travels the world, goes to the gym, does his shows, meets some fans, get out. He's not sitting here reading the news and keeping up what's going on. He probably doesn't even know what's going on in his own backyard. So I'm not surprised.
That might be true, but hell, Shawn Michaels knew that there's discrimination, man. If Shawn Michaels knows, Shawn Michaels,
So
Shawn
Michaels
Michaels,
had a good 7 years at home to turn on CNN.
and
He had some time.
found Jesus, turned on CNN. Put a few guys over, but not that many. His life changed. But shout out HBK, I still love him. But I mean, come on, man. But let's talk about this Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Thought it was the worst match on the card.
But we knew that going into it. Going into it, we knew lackluster. Liv Morgan got emotional and cried at the end of the match and shit because Crown Jewel means so much to WWE wrestlers. Winning that belt and winning that ring and just being there and not be able to shake nobody's hand. But she cried and got emotional because that match meant so much to her.
I don't know about that. I mean, she cried.
She did.
I saw her cry. I saw her cry.
Because it meant so much to her.
No, she cried because that's what the script said. All right. But man, no. No, she didn't. She cried. She might have been crying because Bo Dallas broke up with her. Who knows why she cried? But she wasn't crying.
Oh, that's fun.
Hey, she's single. Guys out there that want to get her, you can bail her out of jail when she's driving with the whole damn thing of weed. I got weed in the back. You know better. You know this is in one of those states where you can
Dominic's wife this time around said no, none of that stuff with this one. That you the one with Rhea Ripley, you ain't doing that shit again with Liv. Did a little nosy thing, that's cool, but y'all ain't touching lips.
Well, no, I have noticed they've done the little noozle thing. They're not kissing anymore.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
nah.
I mean, I don't think Dom wanted to. I think if Dom was gonna cheat, he would have cheated on Rhea. He would have cheated on her with Rhea. Like you can see that in real life. Like I think he has a better connection with Rhea Ripley than he does with like Liv.
Oh yeah, way better chemistry. Rhea and Dom, way better chemistry. You can see that off top.
So that's the reason Rhea was crying that she couldn't hang out with Dom and Priest anymore. But there's that.
Her and Priest was a team. Are they just throwing that away?
That's done. That's trash now. That's in the whole garbage. And
the name sucked anyway.
Yeah,
the Terror Twins. That was an internet wrestling name. WWE didn't even give them that name. The old IWC. So I guess we can blame ourselves. It's our fault. We need to stop. The Bloodline was named by the IWC. I mean,
oh, was it?
Yeah, they were just saying. They were just calling. Oh, that's your Bloodline. They were like, okay, we're just gonna call it the Bloodline. So, I mean, at this point, they're not even related. Half of them. They're gonna have Sammy. He's not even in an island. He's from Syria, Canadian Syrian.
Oh!
So we going all kind of crazy. But yeah, I think that was the worst match on the card. And not because of the ladies not because the ladies did anything wrong, not because they botched. I just thought the match was bad compared to any other matches that was going on.
I mean, it's already hard sometimes. Well, especially a place like WWE that's storyline driven, to have two heels do a match, and then two, neither one of these, no disrespect, neither one of them are ring generals, and then the major plot line to the story was who was Tiffany gonna cash in, so you never really was looking forward to the match. It was really, is Tiffany gonna cash in on Nia? Is she gonna? And she didn't do either. So I mean, this is gonna end with nobody happy.
I knew there wasn't going to be a cash in
I didn't
because
think there wasn't one either.
I mean if she's gonna cash in, it's gonna be in America, and it's gonna be at a big pay per view. It's gonna be Survivor Series. If she's gonna cash in, it's gonna be later on this month at Survivor Series. When she does cash in, I think.
So
And it,
is that a rule? Do you, when you cash in the money in bank, does it not count because we got U.S. currency?
no, that could be one.
Yeah.
That could be. Nia could throw that in if she would have cashed in on Nia. Hey. Not the correct change. Give it back. Give me my belt back. But no, I don't see her doing it overseas anyway. I don't see a reason for them to do it yet. Just for the simple fact that when Nia and Tiffany blow up, I mean, I honestly would rather her cash in on Liv. Liv doesn't need that belt. Now we just have a drawn out
But then
storyline.
Tiff will have to be.
I don't know. I think the storyline with Liv is Rhea's not there anymore. Rhea's face is broken. Okay, so
Yeah, I think they do have to go to the drawing board and figure out what you're gonna do with Liv, what are you gonna do with Judgment Day. But I don't. I mean, I would keep the belt on Liv.
Got it planned. They're going to have Liv go against Io, and Io's going to get the title.
then who's Io gonna feud with?
I don't think Io's gonna get it so quickly.
Asuka.
We don't even know if she's ready.
I don't think she's gonna come back to Royal Rumble.
Probably not.
Said Asuka is always ready.
No one is ready for Asuka.
I don't know. Last time I seen Asuka, she was on IG showing off her injury. So I don't know.
I mean, I love Asuka. Asuka's definitely my favorite woman on the roster, but I don't see her coming back this soon. Asuka's 42 years old. Asuka's not a spring chicken in healing or none of this stuff. She's an older lady. As an older man,
for 40, she looks great.
I know, but as an older human being myself, you don't heal the way you used to, brother. So
the whole roster old.
The
whole roster's all pushing 40.
Most
I think that's a weird thing because we call that old now, but I don't think that's versus like PG era and maybe Attitude era. But I mean, early days in WWE, they didn't even really look at you unless you was at least 30. Like
that's true. Well, we have to think Hogan was in his 20s, was like 32 when he beat Iron Sheik. Yes, he looked 56. But,
I was like, was he?
Yeah, Hogan never looked young.
But Hogan never looked young. He never looked young. So you're just like, oh, you look the same, man.
He got that
He's Benjamin Button backwards.
He said he went bald in early, and he what Hogan says, you got to kind of take with a grain of salt. But I believe that one.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to lie about that. We saw it. We saw it, brother. If we go back to Memphis, all the way up to when he got hired as Hulk Hogan in the WWF, yeah.
Wait, you said he was 32 when he won the belt.
Yeah.
So how old was he in Rocky?
He was in his 20s, Rocky.
God, man.
Yeah. See, like,
he was not in his 20s. He was
he might
20s. There's no way he was in his 20s.
He was in his 20s in Rocky. He was in his 20s. He's like, yeah, I was in my 20s, brother. I was jacked.
Because you got to think about it. I mean, there's the filming, and he didn't come back to WWF until after that movie blew up.
After the movie, after Vince Sr. had left, and Vince McMahon has been like, oh, okay, I don't care if you did a movie, brother. You can work here because you already got some traction from the movie and AWA stuff. So yeah, Hogan was old, man. Hogan always looked old. Hell, you gotta. The only person that looked any youthful was like the Warrior. You don't know what he looked like. He had makeup on. So, but no, Warrior didn't look old.
No.
And Sting didn't look old. Sting looked his age, but Luger looked his age. Hogan just did. He just hit the old man stick early.
He looked older than Bob Backlund.
He looks older than Bob Backlund now. What do you mean? Hogan hasn't aged gracefully, man. What do you know? When he got off steroids, he looked older. Like he was one of those people that needed steroids to keep a youthful look. You know, he definitely was one of those guys because his body made you look. Looks like he looks like he's in good shape. But then when he started to lose muscle and the face got slimmer and the wrinkles started to show up and the Botox wasn't working as good as it was before, you just like, damn, Hogan. You're a senior citizen, brother. But I mean, that's how that is.
I gotta hop off and go to bed. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, before you go to bed, before you go to sleep, I do want to touch on this.
Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to start at 7:30, so we would have had a whole hour, but someone wanted to jump on us late.
Well, I do want to touch on this. Just two things. The firing of Indy Hartwell, Tegan Knox, and Baron Corbin.
I will say I'm pretty sure we all can agree with this one. No one was surprised about Tegan, but Indy and Baron definitely was a shock to me, especially since Indy she's been regularly on TV.
Oh, for sure. Baron Corbin. I was surprised because of the long tenure that he had, but then when they let go of Dolph, I'm like, they'll probably let go of him. I also am surprised that I'm hearing that Shinsuke is in the rumor mill to be let go as well. AEW.
Oh man, not Shinsuke.
AEW will love that because they can get some good Japanese stuff. Because Shinsuke says he's not moving back to Japan.
He likes surfing too much.
He loves surf. That's what I was getting ready to bring it up. The surf. The California Tides are calling that man name.
I'm assuming his house is paid off. He's not leaving.
Yeah, he's not leaving. So, but with Indy, I thought it didn't make sense. She's with Candace.
She's with Candace, and it actually had some storyline progression where in the beginning she wasn't trying to go heel with her, and then she's now slightly, she's she went full in, and it was a nice progression. So I don't know why they would let her go.
So I don't see. And Tegan, I think they should have just put her back on NXT and let her run wild. She had a good NXT run all the time.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me. But I know there's going to be some more rounds.
I mean, when was the last time we even mentioned Baron Corbin?
Well, he had a great run on NXT, and it seemed like it rebuilt, interest in him. Him and Braun Breaker were doing good together, and then they split. Braun went to the main roster, and then just didn't really do much with him. They put him on SmackDown, and he just kind of been in limbo over there. But I still thought, they'll repackage him.
Yeah. When they brought him up to the main roster and they teamed him up with Apollo Crews, who I'm pretty sure they're going to let go as well.
I like Apollo, man.
I like Apollo, but I think he's a guy that would do better in AEW.
Yeah.
ROH, not even AEW. He'd be ROH heavyweight champion. He'd beat Jericho or something. But but no, with him, I think they dropped the ball with Baron Corbin. He could have been something. People started cheering him. He just needed an opportunity to be in something. He could have been a good foil for LA Knight, really. LA Knight, he could have been a good heel for LA Knight.
It would have been good
to go against somebody,
I think he's been, even though he's had ups and downs, I think honestly he was cursed when he lost that Money in the Bank.
He should have won. He should have won a belt.
And there was apparently at the time there was some story. Hasn't been much talk about it since, but apparently he got in some big argument with the WWE doctor on the subject of concussions, and I guess it just rubbed management off wrong, and I think that's what caused them to lose the Money in the Bank. And maybe since then they never had that same faith in them that they had at the time.
I can see that. But I hope Burn. I hope TNA. I hope he goes to TNA. I don't want to see him in AEW because he'll never go anywhere.
Of course.
But I would like to see Baron Corbin in TNA. And if Shinsuke gets let go, we're going to see Shinsuke in AEW. Nowhere else. Nowhere
Oh yeah,
else.
he is not fucking going. No fucking way.
I think he'll do better than Okada. I for some reason, as cool as Okada has been in New Japan, he don't have that same vibe in AEW. He comes off cheesy. His moves don't come off as stiff. They come off actually the opposite. They come off super soft. I just
Yes.
seen a clip of him doing a tombstone that was horrible.
Oh, oh my God, on the ramp?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. What was
Like
that?
I hate to say
Yeah.
this because I mean the guys look so cool in New Japan, and I just don't know what it is. Like this character's funny, but I never wanted him to be a comedy character.
This is what I'm
Um,
saying, bitch.
yeah,
Yeah. That's his whole thing.
like
Bitch.
he
That's
was
just black.
so protected in New
That's just funny
Japan,
as hell.
and
That's
it's
just
almost
so
like he had
funny.
a Paul Heyman effect where they hit all the flaws, and now we see him in AEW running wild, and it's just like. It's so many things wrong I'm seeing. Like this is not the guy who's having those 5-star matches with Kenny Omega.
Well, there's no Kenny Omega. But there's that.
There's no Kenny Omega, exactly. Yeah.
There's
No
no
Kenny
Kenny.
Omega.
There's no Kenny. And he didn't really wrestle Will Ospreay like that in AEW. So and Ospreay's getting ready to have these 19-star matches with Ricochet, I guess. And Kyle Fletcher, who had a great match on Collision, I guess. But before we get off here, because I know you have to go
Yeah,
to bed, young
Ricochet
man.
doing his thing.
Yeah, oh, so now you for
Now, I just want to
Ricochet?
say before I go, now pray for Ricochet, pray for Bobby. You know what I'm saying? 90 seconds, commercial break, commercial break.
Paul, line up. 30 seconds. That was horrible. That was horrible. But who? First of all, who had an overrun? There had to be an overrun somewhere. Maybe somebody was late. Did Bobby take too long walking down to the ring? Because he had to get his pose in. He didn't get one firework, but he got his pose in.
He had a pose to the hard cam is what confused him. He was normally the people sitting over there.
leave Bobby alone. Leave Bobby alone. Bobby's the guy, man. Bobby's. I hope Bobby has. I hope they do the Hurt Syndicate well. I hope Tony Khan allows MVP to cook. I hope they don't water it down with all these people that they're going to put in it, with Max Caster in it, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it.
What the fuck? You didn't even these niggas in here.
Exactly. But
I don't even think he'll fit in with that.
He's not cool. He's him.
No.
He's not the character of that man. He's not like Leo could be in it.
Leo would have been great for it.
And he has a history with Bobby. Lashley. He loves saying Bobby's name at least. But I don't see Max. But there has to be some way for Max to break up with Anthony. For some odd reason, they're teasing this.
Yeah. Do you want that to happen? Is that good?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I think Bowens is a better all-around package wrestler than I think Anthony Bowens is the best in the Acclaim, other than Max. He's better than Max Caster in my view. But if you break up the Acclaim, what the hell are you going to do with Billy Gunn? Is he just going to be a trainer in the back? Billy Gunn doesn't have anything to do.
He could link back with his sons.
Now, I would like to see that. They could get back together, and then he can be the Bang Bang Gang with Billy Gunn.
Yeah, he can wear a shirt.
But he's used to being in groups in the background and telling people they got 2 words for him.
Yeah, he can. And they doing the crotch drops and stuff. But, he'll fit right in.
Yeah, so he could be with his kids. That'll work. But I see Anthony Bowens taking off after he after him and Max Caster have the beef, and Max raps on him and calls him gay because he is gay, because that's the only thing he's gonna have to say.
That's something he's gonna have to say. Yeah, we gonna have to figure out how way to avoid that one.
Because
And he's already gotten too much trouble for previous raps.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I totally agree. He's very controversial when his raps, and his partner has so many things you could do. The most obvious one is you're gay, and he's in most of his stuff that he raps about is he calling people gay. So calling a gay man who's obviously gay, it's like, okay, well, you're gay. Well, yeah, I know. I had you last night. Diddy party, all right, baby oil. Something. Like, something's gonna have to be said. I don't want him in the Hurt Syndicate. I think the Hurt Syndicate needs to be the three people that are in it. Maybe Ricochet, because Ricochet was the person that he wanted, that MVP wanted originally in the Hurt business.
No, that'd be good for him. That'd be good for him.
Why no?
No, that would make them shit.
As long as Ricochet doesn't say, "I'm out of this world," he's fine. We don't need him.
Come on, motherfucker! You want to fight my friend?
Listen. Ricochet's okay as long when Samantha Irvin gets there and she talks for him, he's gonna be over as a heel.
No.
Cause she can be like, "Shut the fuck up, fans! Don't say that about my man."
I think that's gonna cause X-Pac and it's not gonna be good for either one of them.
He wants that X-Pac heat. It's not good for her that she doesn't have somebody to tell her to stay off of Twitter and don't respond.
She needs to stay off Twitter. She needs to not respond. And if that stuff gets her heated, her doing that same thing on TV, that's just gonna cause her to be out of there less than 6 months.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. If you got to think, it isn't like the WWE. The WWE has like a PR team. The PR team with Tony is Tony himself. Well, you guys can say it as long as you don't make me feel afraid.
And that's another thing. All he would do for is sit there and argue with people too, because he's
just like she is. Yeah, he's just like she is. They're going to be, "Don't you say that to Samantha. She's a great woman, and she loves her man, and I love her man too." And that's it. That's how he's going to be. AEW is not ran like a business. It ran like if us three said, "Fuck it, we got money, let's hire some wrestlers that we know." You know what I'm saying? It's ran like that. It's not ran like a multi-million-dollar company is. It's not ran with any of those things.
To be fair though, if Vince was maybe 25 years younger, he'd probably be on Twitter arguing with people too.
Vince would go up to your house. "Where do you live, damn it?" Because I'm a genetic jackhammer.
He probably would have had like a burner account, but he definitely he'd be on there if he was a little younger.
Vince would just fly around the country and start fighting people, because Vince's own gear. Vince is fucking ready to go. He's not. Tony Khan is like the guy that talks shit to you on Facebook, but then he blocks you after he says what he needs to say. Vince is the guy that'd be like, "God damn it, give me your address. I'm gonna fuck your mom and beat you up." Like, that's what Vince would do.
I can see him saying those things.
So that's the different type of person. Would Vince argue? Yes, but Vince gonna throw hands too. Even if you beat him up, like, Vince gonna say, "I took a fuck it." But I
definitely can see that.
But Tony, like, that shit with CM Punk, that would have never happened with Vince. He could have yelled. He could have lunged at Vince. Vince was like, "God damn it, let's go, Phil." With Tony, "Oh my God, I'm fearing for my life. There was 9 people between me and him."
But Vince was a little similar in situations like with Shawn and Brett. He just let them fight. He didn't.
Yeah, and he got hit by Brett, but he knew it was going to happen. He knew it was going to happen. He didn't file charges on Brett.
No.
Brett. He just said, "Oh, you get to hit me. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take that shot." So you gotta respect Vince when it comes to just being a man. I put him over Tony, if that makes sense.
Oh no, I get you. No, yeah, I'm not debating that one.
Like a guy's guy. Like, Tony's always been rich. Vince hasn't always been rich. It's been so many years that Vince has pretty much always been rich, but he hasn't always been rich.
Yeah.
You know, he grew up in the wrestling business, so obviously I'm pretty sure he's fought some wrestlers that didn't give a fuck how much money he's had before, other than Brett, you know, in real life, you know. So different story, different type of
But
person.
being poor and then miraculously one day your dad comes to pick you up and is like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm rich." That must be like the dream story of many poor kids.
Yeah, being poor and getting molested. That's by your mom.
I that man.
I mean, there's so many things that what
So
Vince went through.
he talked about that in an interview with Playboy, and then it's never really been discussed much more. And I thought, well, since it's a magazine, maybe it was misquoted or something. But then they brought it up again in Netflix, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh. And then he said a few sentences, not directly naming anybody, but he was like, I think he said incest, something.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh. What do you mean by that? You can't just say that and keep
can't
going.
just say it and
we
don't
gotta
elaborate.
talk about this. We gotta
go back to that.
But so I was like, because I've heard about this, and I was like, well, it's in a magazine. Maybe they just missed it, but no, he really, and he loved his mom. You know what?
He took care of the woman until she died a few years ago. I mean,
It's trailer park business. That's nothing I'm supposed to understand. It's not meant for me to comprehend.
It's not that side of town, no. Not that side of the tracks. Mine neither. It didn't make sense to me, but it explains his actions as a person, like outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. But guys, before on our closing statements, I just want to say I think it was a good week for professional wrestling. Good luck to the Hurt Syndicate. And I think it was the right call for Roman to lose to Solo. It sucks. Hopefully Jimmy's timing gets better so he can actually break up a pin.
That was awkward. That was
1, 2.
The ref saved that. Ref needs a fucking medal. Give him the belt.
Maybe
going into that match, I thought it was gonna be Tamaloga was gonna fuck some shit up. Nah.
He psychically messed it up. Just his presence messed up Jimmy's concentration. Roman didn't even kick it. Roman has too much trust in his cousin because I would have kicked out 1, 2. Oh no, he ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna have to kick out this fight. I'm gonna have to bury Solo's finish.
And maybe I was thinking, maybe Jimmy was like, "Oh, Roman's got this." Well, wait a minute, we did talk about this.
Big Uso is gonna kick. No. Maybe he knew he was supposed to lose to a spike. He thought that was the spike he was supposed to lose to.
Way too early, though.
Yeah, they were gonna go home way too early.
Jimmy had jet lag. It's all good.
They were there for 3 days. That was that for 3 days. He was all right. He had some camel. He's good. What do you mean? Got some camel ooze? Yeah, he was fine. But man, I would like to. But yeah, that was a good thing. I hope the Hurt Syndicate works out. Like I really want Bobby Lashley. If he loses to Orange Cassidy, I'm never watching AEW again. Legit, because I can't do it. I can't take it. Oh, Orange Punch, Beach Break. Oh my God, he's beating him. Oh God, give him the belt. Orange Cassidy's running around. Ah! No, I'm not doing that. I have to leave. But anyway, that's what I think. What about you guys? What are your closing statements?
We can just focus on the positive that there is black representation in wrestling, and it's called AEW.
You do not care about black representation. You're just a Bobby Lashley fan, and that is fine. That is fine.
No, I
was gonna say that too.
No, I do care about black representation. I do. Soroka, whatever her name is.
She's
always, what I'm saying? Strong black queen.
You are still double downing on this by saying that. You're making things worse.
You could have said Trick Williams.
You could have said Trick. You could have, you could
Flash, Trick, Jakara, anybody. Why Soul? Soul's the whitest black woman I've ever seen.
No. So she's still a sister.
Yeah, you pushing it. You're pushing it.
Her daddy's a brother.
Her
daddy's a brother. That don't make her a sister.
She's a sister.
If you didn't know, just like I didn't know, if I wouldn't have read that top black wrestlers, and I saw her, because I was like, huh, what? Are they
Yeah,
confused?
and Bobby Lashley is Spanish.
Yes, he's Puerto Rican.
No,
He's
from Panama. His parents from Panama.
Panama. Oh, he's Panama. So okay, so he's Afro Latino, but that Afro comes first. So there we go.
Yeah.
So he's still black. So I mean, it's okay. I mean, we can say that Big E, his family isn't from America, which they're not. Still black though.
Where's Big E's family from?
Shit, I forget. They African. No, Jamaican. He's got Jamaican family.
That's why he's always wearing them button ups.
Mm-hmm.
I knew something was up.
Yeah. So I mean, if we just want to go, all we got is Xavier Woods. He can't say he's nothing else, but that black guy from Georgia and Swerve. That's it. That's all we got.
Carmelo Hayes.
Melo's missing a lot. I don't know.
We need him back with Trey.
I agree. I would love to see Melo and Trick have a reunion, but it's too soon.
Trick's too soon. It. But yeah. Like I don't want to ruin anything for Trick, but I just think they maybe they should have came. But then again, he's beyond just being Carmelo's mouthpiece, and Carmelo just gotta. I don't know.
Carmelo needs a mouthpiece. I think they need to team him up with B-Fab.
I think he can talk for himself, but it's just no disrespect. He's just for smaller guys. He needs the diesel. He needs a heater. Yeah, and he can he don't need it forever. Yeah, he ain't doing nothing.
I know. I figured he was going to be in Saudi.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
Because he's an attraction.
Yeah,
maybe he's on Raw.
MVP, it said, they, he didn't say too much, but he made some hints like, if y'all don't know what to do with him, something's wrong with y'all.
What to do with him? He can't wrestle. I mean,
well, it's his buddy, so he's gonna speak.
You can say, man, you can be the best guy in the world if you don't have the in-ring ability. What does it matter?
I don't think that man was ever looking to be a wrestler. I think somebody came up to him with the idea. So that's one of those things. Like he's got a big learning curve to come across. Something that just landed in his lap. It wasn't like he was been training for this forever.
Oh, I totally agree. Neither was the Big Show, and look where they took him. There you go. But he wasn't a good wrestler either. Like he was better than Andre, but being better than Andre doesn't mean anything because Andre wrestled like Andre. He couldn't move, just chopped you.
And he's not working on his craft. I will say that he's busy on TikTok reviewing clones, which it's a nice channel. He probably should just be in the gym though.
No, it's just like Baron Corbin. He can be just like Baron Corbin, who just cooks meat and eats steak on his grills. And look where he is now. Unemployment line, brother.
Yeah, you mentioned about going to TNA. Maybe he can just pop up on Pat McAfee's on show and be one of the side guys on there.
That would make sense. They are friends. They played ball together. They had a feud together. That would work. But I still see them going to TNA just because of Florida. Everybody lives in Florida.
Oh yeah.
TNA loves Florida, and you don't have to wrestle that much, and you can still do indie bookings. If you want to.
Yeah, it might be good for him.
But yeah, and what are your thoughts of the week, Peter?
That's been a good weekend. Crown Jewel was pretty nice. We didn't talk much about it, but I liked the ending to Cody and Gunther. I thought it was pretty nice. It was I thought it was an interesting thing because they tried that same finish with him and Randy and it got a little controversial. Yeah.
I can say that was the best male match on the card. Singles match. I loved even though the Randy Orton and Kevin Owens didn't even have a match. They just had a brawl. And then, I thought that the Big Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins match would have been a little bit different. But I'm I'm unhappy that Bronson Reed lost, but I'm happy that the way he lost because he had to do
Yeah.
the WWE 2K finisher on him, the stomp off the top rope to finish him. So I'll allow it. He didn't, and he popped right back up. Like
I'm yeah, he popped back up. So that was a nice honestly, that looked cooler than he came out looking cooler with that than Solo did for pinning Roman. Because after he did that, so much other shenanigans happened afterwards. See that they didn't really it wasn't the focus got taken off of him getting that pin.
the Sami Zayn kicking Roman in the face
Yeah,
became the
yeah.
bigger deal than Solo pinning Roman cleanly
Yeah,
since
yeah.
since Cody. Only two people have done it since the big reign. Jay and Cody, and now Solo has beaten him clean as well. So there you go.
Solo also beat Cena and it didn't seem like a big deal. It's like it's nothing they can do to make this guy seem.
You can't make Solo a big deal. I'm sorry, you can't. Like if Jacob beats Roman clean, that's a big deal because Jacob has a better aura than Solo as the man. Like Solo doesn't have an aura as the man. Like Solo just has an aura as the cool dude you go hang out with at the grocery store. Like that's Solo. Like he's not that guy. He's not. He doesn't have that aura that Roman has. He doesn't have that fun aura that Jay has. He doesn't have that goofy aura that Jimmy has, which he probably does in real life. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
That scene where he came to Raw with the tickets was pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's better as just like him as a real person. He's just like, I'm cool. I'm here. Like he's happy to be there. Like in real
Yeah.
life. But the character of the tribal chief Solo Sikoa doesn't.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been pushed on him like that. But I mean, he's doing the best he can with it.
Yeah, I give it to him. I think he'll be better when The Rock finally gets
Oh
his
yeah,
schedule.
yeah. I are we gonna? Is there anything gonna happen with Kevin Owens? Are they gonna make any sense of any of this, or is it just gonna be Kevin's gone crazy and he sees things differently than what it is?
Kevin gone crazy. It's gonna be Kevin's gone crazy until January when Randy's like, "Hey, Cody, I want that belt. It's my time."
Yeah, I think while the Rock thing it seems like a nice thing for Cody. That'd be a big thing for him. Randy might be the better storyline, and and Cody desperately needs a deep storyline right now.
Oh, it's the best storyline. It's the storyline that has legacy, pun intended.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, you know, it's the storyline that can take Cody's match, Cody's character to the next level. Roman can't do that because the only history that they have is that they've wrestled each other and he's lost and they're 1-1. The Rock can't do it because they don't have any history other than he gave him something in his hand. But Randy and Cody, it's all in the WWE, and they have a lot of footage of pretty much Cody's entire WWE career has to do with Randy Orton. So I think it'll be a great match. But I think it's just going to lead up to WrestleMania next year. Because I don't see Cody having the belt longer than a year. But gentlemen, I think we have there. I know Shaw's probably be ready to pass out somewhere.
Yeah, nah, and I'm glad we started so.
You glad we started so late? You threw it in there.
Yeah, I'm so glad we start. I'm so glad we decided to start late and then push the conversation another hour and 30 minutes because someone could get on there on. I was on time. I just want the world to know that.
He was.
Okay.
But things happened, but it was still a good one. We had a good chat. This is the ether. we are the guys. I'm Alex. That's Shaw. That's Peter. And we will talk to you, gentlemen, later. Peace.
Yeah.
How long does it take to upload?
It shouldn't.